Hi guys, it's Tammy from Shrinking Violet DS, and today is Wednesday, April 18th, Tax Day. I last came to you on last Wednesday, April 10th. So, let's start with my stats, which I always forget these days. I had traditional duodenal switch surgery at Mexicali Bariatric Clinic with Dr. Esquera on March 9th of 2017. I started my pre-op diet on February 19th of 2017 at 260 pounds. I had my surgery March 9, 2017 at 248 pounds. I'm 5 feet 4 inches tall and 47 years old. So when I came to you last Wednesday, I weighed 136.8, and today I come at you weighing 132. So I have lost 4.8 pounds. Holy cow. Wow. I didn't realize I had lost that much. That's probably the most I've lost in a week in months. Months and months and months. So that's really good. Like I said last time, I'm back in ketosis, which is good. My restriction is good. I find that if I eat carbs, my restriction relaxes. If I eat what I'm supposed to eat, fat and protein, my restriction is nice and tight. I also found that if I keep my bra nice and tight, my restriction is nice and tight. And I had gotten into the habit when my restriction was too tight of loosening it, the band, so that I could eat a decent amount. And now that I can eat a decent amount without doing that, I was still loosening that so that I could eat even more. So I've stopped doing that too. I've upped my protein and my fat, lowered my carbs. I'm getting at least 2 protein shakes a day now, just to help me get my extra protein in. I have the occasional protein bar, but those, I don't know, they're just kind of like candy for me. So I'm not, I said that I kicked myself out of ketosis eating candy, which I did. I'm not a huge candy person though. I like tangy things, I like fruity things. And so if I'm gonna eat candy, it's gonna be things like I talked about last week, which was a sweet and sour, or sweet and spicy Skittles. And I've yet to find a protein bar that tastes like a Skittle. So, yeah, I'm not huge on protein bars, but I will eat them. I like the Kirkland brand. They have one that's called Cinnamon Bun, and it tastes just like Snickerdoodle cookie dough, which is pretty darn good, I have to say. But I like all of theirs because I like the texture and I like the flavors. So, been doing that. I've been eating low carb ice cream or high protein ice cream, however you want to look at it, Halo Top and Enlightened. But I had to ease up on that because I realized that could get out of control pretty quickly. If I'm going to eat it, I tend to eat the whole pint, which is fine as long as you calculate it into your macros for the day, which I usually did. Obviously is working because I lost 4.8 pounds. So, I mean, it didn't derail me or anything, but still, there be monsters. So I'm just kind of being careful of that. My last carb hurrah, and I can't remember if I did this, I must have done it right before I came to you the last time, was these little mini carrot cakes that were like, ooh, I'm really washed out. I don't know if you can see this, but they're about the size of not the size of my face, but like the size of the center of my face. So like large muffin size. And they're from Trader Joe's, little mini carrot cakes, and they had cream cheese frosting, and I was just dying for one, but of course they only sold them in the 4-pack, and so I bought those, and I ate half of one in the car, and I put the other half away, and then I got home and I wanted more, and I was like, oh, I cannot do this, and so I live in the woods next to a green space. And so I went outside, and I'm always throwing things out for the little woodland animals, because we've got all kinds of animals and birds and everything. And carrot cake would be good for them. So I took those outside, and I took one bite out of the bottom of each one of those things, and then chucked it into the forest for the animals. And that was my last bad carb hurrah. And I've been really good since then. I have not had a high carb version of anything since that time. We went out to lunch at a Scandinavian place called Broder Soder, and I ordered the open face sandwiches because it comes on really thin, dense rye bread, so lots of fiber and lots of toppings, shaved ham and cheese, and the other one that I ordered had gravlax and egg, and so it was perfect. It was delicious, and I didn't feel like I was denied at all. In fact, I think I had one of the better things at the table. So making those good decisions has gotten easier, thank goodness, because man, it felt nearly impossible for a while there. What else? Oh, I keep noticing that I'm playing, that's weird, that I'm playing with my skin a lot. I feel my skin, to me, feels like one of those stress balls that you get from promotional companies, that you squeeze, you keep it at your desk and you squeeze. And that's what my skin feels like. My extra skin feels like that to me. And so I will find myself sitting, watching TV or something, and like squeezing my arm skin or squeezing the side of my leg where it's kind of baggy, that kind of thing. And my husband mentioned, he's like, you're always playing with your skin. And I said, well, I think that it's I know it's subconscious, because I don't think, oh, hey, I'm going to play with my skin. I said, I think part of it is it feels weird. My body feels strange to me. It doesn't feel like my body anymore, because I'm so used to my skin being pulled fairly taut with all that chub underneath. And now it's not. And it kind of hangs, and, my face sags the way it never did before. And it just is weird. I was walking through Costco the other day, and I had on a coat because I freeze in Costco. Every time I go in, I freeze. My happy place in Costco is by the rotisserie chickens. I will literally go hang out at the rotisserie chickens with my hands underneath the burners because I'm freezing all the time in Costco. Anyway, so I was in Costco, and I had on all these layers, and I had on a big winter coat over all those layers. And I kept bumping into something on my side, and I thought, what do I have in my pocket? So I'm reaching in my coat pocket to figure out what the heck I've got in there that's hard that I'm hitting, and it was a hip bone. But I didn't recognize it as a part of my body because it's just so weird. And so I can see how people who don't have a really good sense of self and of their own identity prior to weight loss surgery can have a really hard time afterwards. I had a really solid sense of who I was. And I've mentioned, I think I've mentioned on here, I know that I mentioned it several times on Instagram. I had reverse body dysmorphia. And so I always, when I was fat, always thought that I was thinner, or felt like I was thinner than I was. And so my sense of self was already predicated on looking thinner than I did. And so I never really felt like a fat person. Some people say, oh, I feel so fat. I never really felt that way. And in fact, when I would have occasional flashes of feeling fat, it kind of surprised me. It's so bizarre. Our minds are just weird. Anyway, so my identity was already not based on being that large. So that part of my personality hasn't changed that much. But the way my body moves and the way my body feels to me, not how I feel inside my body, but how my body feels when I touch it, is very different. And it's almost like it's not my body. And it's really, really a weird thing. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about these days is, you know, when is this body gonna feel like my body? When am I gonna feel like this is me? And I kind of wonder also if this isn't gonna happen again after I get my plastics, because once again I will have gotten used to this body and all of its saggy glory, and then all of a sudden my body's gonna look completely different again. It's not gonna be saggy. It's not gonna look 47 years old, for one thing. So yeah, that'll be kind of interesting. Not too sure what to think of that. But I have to say, I will be glad to get rid of the extra skin. Lately, I find that I'll be laying on a massage table, or I'll be laying in bed or something, and I'm thinking, what is wrong with my covers? Why are my sheets are always bunched up underneath me? And so I like reach behind me to smooth out the sheets, and it's not the sheets, it's me. My skin's bunched up and wrinkled underneath me. So I've turned into the Princess and the Pea, and I don't even need a pea. I am my own pea. Anyway. All right, you guys. I'm just going to keep on doing my low carbing and hoping that I keep losing at least a little at a time. I've started weighing kind of maybe once a week, maybe twice a week. Haven't been weighing daily. I have been tracking my food daily though. That has been a big help. Tracking my macros, because I was not getting nearly as much protein as I thought I was, and of course I was getting way more carbs than I thought I was, or than I hoped I was. So I have gotten back to daily tracking. I might get back to daily weighing. We'll see. You know, at this point when the scale doesn't move very much at all from day to day, it's a little bit of an exercise in frustration. Unlike at the beginning of your journey when it's moving like crazy, and you know, you wake up and you're 2 pounds lighter, and then you wake up the next day and you're a pound lighter, and you wake up again and you're another 2 pounds lighter, and you're like, whoo, wow. I mean, it's amazing that I lost 4.8 pounds this time. I do think some of it was because I had gained more than, I gained back some weight, because my initial low weight was 134 and I was up to 136.8. So I think I was losing that little bit of regain too. But yeah, I'll keep tracking my food daily, but I'm not gonna keep weighing daily. And so, I think I'll just do once or twice a week. That was a lot of words to say the same thing over and over again. Sorry about that. All right, my friends, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I hope you got your taxes in on time, or your extension in on time, and I will talk to you soon. Oh, there is a new, well, I don't know if, I better ask this person first before I give her a shout out as a new WLS community member, because she's not yet had her surgery, and I'm not sure how involved she wants to be. So watch this space. We may have a new DSer into the community, which, you know, always excites all of us DS people because there are so few of us, and so it's always nice to have more and to hear their stories and get their input. So anyway, talk to you soon. Bye.